Did you know that our brains are capable of producing their own natural painkillers, their own antidepressants, and even their own anti-anxiety medications? Our brain like having a sophisticated little pharmaceutical factory, constantly working behind the scenes. In this video, I'm going to tell you about these amazing substances and, more importantly, how you can naturally activate this inner pharmacy to help you feel better, both physically and mentally. So, let's explore the brain's inner pharmacy today. Now, before we dive in, I need to make a really important point. If you are currently taking any prescription medications that I might mention in this video, things like painkillers, antidepressants, or anti-anxiety drugs, please do not stop taking them or change your dosage without having a thorough discussion with your doctor first. There are many people who rely on these medications and truly need them to manage their conditions. Suddenly stopping these medications can have serious and potentially dangerous consequences. However, it's also a wonderful truth that our brains have this innate ability to produce similar substances naturally, and there are various lifestyle strategies we can employ to stimulate their production. So, if you're interested in learning how to boost your inner pharmacy to produce these feel-good chemicals, then this video is definitely for you. For some individuals, utilizing these natural strategies might eventually lead to a reduction in their reliance on prescription medications. But again, I cannot stress enough the importance of checking with your doctor before making any changes to your prescribed medications. Your doctor can help you determine what's safe and appropriate for your individual circumstances. In this video, we're going to explore how our brain can release endorphins, which are incredibly powerful natural painkillers, cannabinoids, which play essential roles in a wide range of bodily functions, serotonin, that crucial neurotransmitter for regulating our mood, and finally, dopamine, often referred to as the feel-good substance. Let's start with endorphins. These amazing chemicals are primarily produced in the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland, both of which are located in the brain. Interestingly, scientists have identified around 20 different types of endorphins, with beta endorphin being the most extensively studied. Our brain tends to release these endorphins when we experience pain, or when we're under some kind of threat, stress, or in a potentially dangerous situation. The very name endorphin gives us a clue to its function. It's derived from endogenous morphine, meaning it's our body's own internal morphine-like substance. When endorphins are released, they bind to opioid receptors in our brain and spinal cord, which are the same receptors that are activated by prescription opioid painkillers. By activating these receptors, endorphins effectively block the transmission of pain signals, leading to a reduction in pain intensity. But their effects go beyond just pain relief. Endorphins can also help to reduce feelings of fear and stress, making us feel more resilient in challenging situations. However, there are situations where a person might not produce enough endorphins naturally. We also know that if someone takes exogenous opioids, meaning prescription opioid painkillers from an outside source, it can sometimes inhibit the body's own production of endorphins. It's almost as if the brain takes a bit of a vacation, thinking it doesn't need to work as hard to produce its own. What happens after someone stops taking prescription opioids in terms of their natural endorphin production is still an area of ongoing research. But one thing is clear. Our endogenous opioids are absolutely essential for our well-being, and we can't thrive without them. So, what can we do to naturally increase our endorphin levels? Here's a list of effective methods. Exercise. Yes, exercise is a fantastic way to boost endorphin production. You might have even heard of runner's high. Some people who engage in prolonged and vigorous exercise, like long-distance running, experience a sense of euphoria and well-being that's attributed to the release of beta endorphins. Research suggests that high-intensity aerobic exercise is particularly effective at triggering endorphin release. These are the cardio workouts that really get your heart pumping, make you sweat, and leave you a little short of breath. High-intensity interval training, HIIT, which involves short bursts of intense effort followed by recovery periods, has also shown promising results in boosting endorphins. If high-intensity exercise isn't feasible, don't worry. Resistance training, exercises to build strength, usually with weights, and moderate-intensity aerobic activities like walking, biking, dancing, engaging in sexual activity, or playing sports can also help. The key is to get moving. Laughter. Believe it or not, a good belly laugh can also stimulate the release of endorphins. So, spending time with funny people, watching a comedy, or simply finding humor in everyday situations can actually have a pain-relieving and mood-boosting effect. Listening to music, immersing yourself in music you enjoy, can also trigger the release of endorphins. Whether it's upbeat and energizing or calming and soothing, music has a powerful effect on our brains. Meditation. Practicing mindfulness and meditation has been shown to have numerous benefits, including the release of endorphins. These practices can help to reduce stress and promote a sense of calm and well-being. Eating dark chocolate. Here's one a lot of people will be happy to hear. Indulging in a small amount of dark chocolate, at least 70% cocoa, can also lead to the release of endorphins. But remember, moderation is key. It should be a small treat, not an entire bar. Therapeutic interventions. Certain therapeutic interventions can also stimulate the brain to produce endorphins. These include acupuncture, massage therapy, and electrical stimulation techniques like transcutaneous electrical nerve stimulation, TENS. Now, here's an interesting connection. When endorphins are released and activate those pleasure centers in the brain, they often trigger the release of another important neurotransmitter, dopamine. This is why people who take prescription opioids might initially experience a sense of pleasure or euphoria. It's a natural response of the body to the activation of these reward pathways. However, this sensation might be masked by the unpleasant side effects that can sometimes accompany opioids, such as nausea, vomiting, dizziness, drowsiness, or constipation. Let's move on to dopamine. This is a key player in our brain's reward system. It's a neurotransmitter that's released when we do something that our brain perceives as pleasurable or rewarding. It's the chemical messenger that reinforces behaviors that are essential for survival and well-being, like eating, socializing, and learning. Dopamine is also released when we achieve a goal, receive praise or recognition, like a pat on the back or a "well done," or experience something novel and interesting. Think about a child learning to walk, ride a bike, master multiplication tables, or learn to read and write. They thrive on positive reinforcement. Each time they receive encouragement or achieve a small milestone, their brain releases dopamine, which helps to solidify that learning and motivates them to continue. Adults are no different. We also need dopamine to reinforce positive behaviors and to stay motivated in our endeavors. This reward system involving dopamine is also at play in activities that can become addictive, such as social media, shopping, video games, gambling, and pornography. Every time someone gets a like or a new follower on social media, wins a game, or experiences the thrill of gambling, it triggers a release of dopamine, which can create a powerful reinforcing loop. Similarly, substances like nicotine in cigarettes, alcohol, and drugs like cocaine, heroin, cannabis, and opioids can also cause a surge in dopamine levels, leading to addiction in some individuals. However, overcoming addiction to substances is often much more challenging than breaking a habit like excessive social media use, because the neurological pathways involved with substance use disorders tend to be much stronger, and the withdrawal symptoms can be severe. One of the problems with substance-induced dopamine rushes is that once someone experiences that intense peak, They may lose interest in other, more natural activities that don't provide the same level of immediate gratification. Dopamine is essential for many other functions beyond just pleasure. We need it for learning, sleep regulation, processing painful sensations, and maintaining motivation in our daily lives. There are certain medical conditions where the brain doesn't produce enough dopamine naturally. For example, in Parkinson's disease, the neurons that produce dopamine in a specific area of the brain gradually die off. This leads to symptoms like stiff muscles, tremors, and often a depressed mood. People with Parkinson's often need to take medications like levodopa, which helps to replace the dopamine their brains are no longer producing adequately. So, what are the natural ways to encourage our inner pharmacy to produce more dopamine? Well, dopamine is synthesized in the brain from an amino acid called tyrosine. Therefore, including more tyrosine-rich foods in our diet can provide the building blocks our brain needs to produce dopamine. Depression can range in severity from mild to moderate to severe. Some individuals with depression may benefit from antidepressant medications, which often work by increasing the availability of serotonin in the brain. Others may require more intensive treatment, including hospitalization, to manage severe symptoms and prevent harm to themselves or others. It's absolutely crucial that anyone taking prescription antidepressants for any reason does not stop taking them abruptly. They need to have an open conversation with the doctor who prescribed their medication to discuss whether it's appropriate to stop or adjust their dosage, and if so, how to do it safely, usually through a gradual tapering process. The treatment of depression often involves a multifaceted approach, which I sometimes refer to as the 5 Ps. Peace, prioritizing sleep, plate, nutritious foods, physical activity, regular exercise, psychological therapy like CBT or interpersonal therapy, and pills, antidepressant medications when necessary. When it comes to naturally supporting healthy serotonin levels, good sleep hygiene is paramount for regulating its production. Diet also plays a role. Complex carbohydrates found in vegetables, fruits, legumes, and whole grains are excellent sources of tryptophan, the precursor to serotonin. Tryptophan is also present in protein-rich foods like meat and dairy, although the ratio of tryptophan to other amino acids can affect its availability in the brain. So, I encourage you to check out my videos on exercise, link to relevant exercise videos, to learn more about how physical activity can help activate your inner pharmacy today. If you enjoyed this exploration of our brain's amazing inner pharmacy and found it informative, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps to spread the word. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more insights into health and well-being. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.